Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Coach Richardson. This is another episode of Becoming Uncommon. So, I have a good friend, long
Hello.
time. We're actually reminiscing about a lot of things, Urina. And for me, it's an opportunity to kind of bring things together. But before we kind of get into the weeds of some stuff, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Urina Harrell. I have known Coach Chris since I don't even want to say.
Yeah,
He's probably going to edit this part out, but like when he had the fro and was still doing the decathlon. So it's
yeah.
been a while. It's been a long time.
Yeah. So when we go all the way back, because
hmm
one thing I really like to do is just kind of reflect, especially former student athletes that have done it at a high level, and obviously now taking over in the business world and
Yeah.
kind of doing your thing on that scope. But what are some lessons you've learned and things? So we'll get into that, but just let's go over your background. What are some of your early accomplishments and accolades going through your athletic career?
Yeah. I started running when I was 6, 7 years old. Wasn't that great at first, but then I realized it was really just coaching and people seeing the potential. I was the athlete who would get second or third or fourth or fifth in all the different events. So I was throwing, hurdling, jumping, running, and I was getting these different places. And I had a wonderful mentor who was like, you know what? I think you're a heptathlete. So she actually started me as a pentathlete because I wasn't old enough for the heptathlon yet. In my first year, that's the first time Arcadia, for example, had the
The multi,
multis,
really?
and it was supposed to be for high school. They let me, actually, it was my second or third year. They let me come in, I think, as a seventh or eighth grader, and compete.
Wow.
And I did well. I think I got like fifth that year. Came back in the next few years, just kept doing well. And end up, winning a few cool, heptathlons.
Hmm.
Um, Won the New York Armory indoor pentathlon
Hmm.
as an eighth no as an eighth grader or ninth grader. I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Early.
Early. And really most of my high school accomplishments happened between seventh grade and my 10th grade year.
Hmm.
I tore my ACL my 10th grade year. And then I just kind of turned into a thrower while I was waiting to heal. But that's a lot of my early accomplishments. And for throwing, I, won a few good medals and
Yeah.
got some good titles there.
All right. So when you say throwing, what events did you particularly
Shot put, I
shot
was
put?
not a great javelin thrower. That was not my ministry. Um,
Your ministry.
but for some reason, shot put was really somewhere where I could excel. Even before I was a multi, I was like doing good in hurdles, doing good in shot put, and then that was like my two things. And they're like, "What? This is such a weird mix."
Hmm.
So shot put was like my baby, and that's actually what I did mostly in college after my ACLs.
Okay. Did you ever try the hammer?
I tried the hammer. I like to say I am rotationally challenged.
Okay.
So,
Just getting
so
her.
I
Yeah.
tried the hammer. I tried disc, and that's why I was a glider through and
Okay.
through as
Okay.
as a shot putter.
All right. What about javelin?
Javelin. I don't know what it is about running and stopping. Like that is not my thing. I did good in high jump, but between javelin and long jump, those are just not like this idea of like
Hmm.
converting that energy forward is just I don't know. My body didn't like it.
Huh.
It
Interesting.
didn't like it. It could go backwards
What
though.
was your PR?
And oh shoot, and javelin?
Yeah.
I don't know. I blacked it out.
Okay. That's like
You can
in the.
look. You can look it up. I'm
Yeah,
sure,
that's
but
like in
it's
the.
like it's blacked out.
Yeah,
It
I don't
was
know how
not
good at
great.
editing, but maybe I'll put it right here.
Yeah.
But all right. So as you're kind of navigating that journey, looking through and kind of figuring things out, you said you had a ACL um, at a young age, especially because you've experienced so much success. You kind of had that stumbling block.
Yeah.
So like, how did that affect you and your identity as an athlete, and how'd you
Yeah.
navigate that?
I think it's really interesting. I mentioned I started running when I was like 7 years
Hmm.
old, actually 6 years old, turning seven. And my life turned into being known as the track girl, right? Like I
Yeah.
was that my friends ran track, all the parents and stuff that I looked up to, they were in my track world. Um, And when I got hurt, I remember I got hurt on like a Thursday. And Friday, Saturday happened, and there was a track meet on Saturday, and all my friends went to the track, and I was at home like, Mom, what am I supposed to do? And she was like, You don't want to go to the mall or something? I was like, What do kids do on Saturdays? Because
That's all
for
you knew.
me, I always only knew, you know, running. So my identity, my complete identity was like this track person, and it completely shattered my first ACL. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna fight to get it back. I had amazing PTs. I went to the same PT office as like Kobe Bryant, literally,
Okay.
right? So I'm thinking like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back, and it didn't come back as strong and as fast as I thought. And then my a hurdle race, I had just got the confidence to start hurdling, and I tore my second ACL,
Same leg.
different leg. So now I have bilateral ACL tears. I'm a junior in college at this point.
Also, the second one happened in college.
The second one, no, sorry, junior in college. I'm a junior in high
High school.
school.
Okay. Okay.
Apologies. And I'm like, I thought track was gonna be my way out. It's gonna be my scholarship and everything. And I'm thinking everything's over. So for me, I went into a deep depression
Wow.
because I thought that like thought I was gonna be in the Olympics as a
Mhm.
heptathlete. Like I had this
Yeah.
whole vision, and it shattered until I start getting those calls for recruiters who
Mhm.
were still recruiting me based off of what I did
Yeah.
my freshman and sophomore year of high school.
That's
So that
cool.
was like my saving grace.
Yeah. That's cool because yeah, like it seems like you came out of it. Any particular moment or person that like obviously kind of I can see the spiral obviously
Yeah.
happen, but then to help you forge back up, obviously, yeah, like getting recognized for your hard work in the past, but any particular move like person or moment that like
Yeah.
really springboarded you to get, reinvigorated?
It's funny. Everybody who I grew up with, staying on the high school side, they all knew what I had done.
Hmm.
And they also know that I'm a fighter. Like,
Yeah.
I don't, even if it's a relay, I never wanted to be in the front where I was getting chased. I always wanted to be able to, like, catch someone.
Okay.
I like that mindset is like me. So for me, it was like a chip on my shoulder that I eventually turned into, like, how hard I worked, how hard I
Mm.
lifted, how hard I wanted to come back. So in high school it was fine. Everybody had complete confidence that I was gonna like go to college and kill it.
Yeah.
It was when I got to college and the coaches who had recruited me like put me kind of on a timeline for how fast they needed me to be back.
Mm.
So I redshirted freshman year, but I literally had surgery a week before my graduation,
No.
my high school graduation. So then I go into college. I'm literally off of crutches for a week, first week of freshman year, and I'm immediately redshirted and like going through BT while in school. So my whole freshman year, I was trying to like prove that I can come back in
Hmm.
time for the next season, and this is before NIL and all this stuff. This is
Yeah.
before the transfer portal. This is when like a coach can release you and you
Yeah.
just
You're done.
got to figure it out.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of stress, and a lot of trying to prove that I could still be this multi.
Mm.
It was a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now going into college,
Hmm.
you're able to kind of make that move. What was some of the decision processes that went in for you, selecting Duke?
It's my favorite process. So at first I was just like going based off of prestige and what like I
Yeah.
thought. Um, and then there was this whole move where I was, grew up in LA. Everybody I know were going to who was like, really good in track. They were being recruited by USC, UCLA, and then maybe Stanford,
Mhm.
right? I wanted to like forge my own path and meet new people. So
Yeah.
I took UCLA and USC like off, even though I had coaches like talking to them and
Hmm.
there was like conversations happening. Stanford actually got recruited, but they rejected me academically, which was crazy because I had a 4.2 GPA. I was like,
Go figure.
really? And then I got into all these like Ivy Leagues on the East Coast, and my mom was like, well, you're going to Ivy League. Like if you have Ivy Leagues calling
Hmm.
you, you're gonna go to one of
Yeah.
those. You're not going to state school. I was like, shoot, like that dwindles it down. But to make my decision, I did a chart. This is like so my behavior.
Okay.
So I did a chart and I weighed it based on what was important to me, which I had like food was like on the top. What was the accommodations like? Then it was like even what's the partying like because you get a visit, so you
Hmm.
can figure that out. Track program, like how good the track program was and how good the academics were.
Hmm.
And I kind of ranked it based on that. And like after each recruiting visit, I'd be like, the food sucked, the accommodations were nice, or like Cornell, I just straight up hated the travel to get there because a little tiny plane you got to do to get to
Hmm.
Ithaca. And I literally just added up like which one had the highest score.
You're kidding.
And I was like, oh, okay, Duke. And that's how I chose. And then my mom had picked a favorite for me, but she wouldn't tell me until I told her where I
Hmm.
wanted to go. And we both just lined up on Duke. But I made a chart, like,
Wow.
and that's how I chose.
All right, so I got to tell you. So what I do, because I help my student athletes transfer, that's like
Hmm.
my, like I really hang my hat on being, very involved in that
Yeah.
process. And so one thing I've been doing for a long time is I tell them to create priorities. I go, all right, there's academics, athletics, environment, location, and environment, location, wait, athletics, academics, environment, location, and financial.
Hmm.
Okay. And with those five, because you could take all 350 schools, and as you dwindle it down, you're going to end up with a few, and
Yep.
then you can start asking questions and make an informed decision.
Yep.
Because a lot of people, it's still the case today, they think I'm going to run, and then the school's going to call, and then whoever is the best, I'm going to go there. But it might not be right for you.
And what is the best for you?
Exactly.
Because the best for some people is a small school. The best
Hmm.
for me, well, one, like I took one of the, to your point, one of the points was already taken off because they were all Ivies, right? Or
Yeah.
Ivy League related.
Hmm.
Like Duke's not an Ivy, but
Yeah. High academic.
high academic. So that one wasn't like the biggest issue. I was looking at the other
Hmm.
priorities. Um, but I can say, and also like some things people need to look at were like coach turnover. That's not a
Yeah.
popular subject, but I was thankful that Stanford somehow rejected me in whatever you believe in. I think
Yeah.
it was
For a
destiny
reason. Yeah.
because before I got there, that coach got fired. So I wouldn't even had the coach who recruited me if I did go there, and that was my number one choice. So
Wow.
like to your point, I think those priorities and looking at like, okay, what's my plan
Hmm.
and how does it line up? Oh, and the focus. I knew I wanted to study psychology,
Okay.
and the coach's wife at Duke was the head of a psych
Oh,
lab, so
no
it
way.
was kind of like,
That makes sense.
it
Yeah.
was really nice there.
Were you able to use that to your advantage?
Yeah, she's one of my closest friends to this
No
day. She
way.
ended up being my psych advisor once I declared, because you have to
Uh-huh.
declare first. And she is probably the reason why I'm doing marketing now, because she let me see the full scope of
Hmm.
like, I didn't want to be a therapist. I didn't want to practice in that nature. And then I realized what being in academia really means as far as like getting published, tenure, in the politics. And I was like, ooh, let me do something I have more control over.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So going through college,
Mhm.
being a student athlete in college, and now, because I
Yeah.
want to transition also to like your professional life,
Uh-huh.
but what are some lessons that you took from your, experience as a student athlete in college to like your professional life now?
Yeah, I think it's reimagining who you are. I talked about the heptathlete
Hmm.
and seeing myself as that for so long. I never competed in a heptathlon or ran in any race during college.
Really?
I ended up being a complete thrower, and that was a hard mental reset for me. But like I realized like that, giving the academic load, given what my body was doing, given the pressures from the coaches, it was best for me to transition in that way. And I still got fairly far,
Hmm.
even just being a thrower, just doing shot put, which when I say being a thrower, I was literally doing one event. So I
Yeah.
went from doing seven to one
Yeah.
and just focusing on that and having to go from, in the hep, you mess up on one event, you can kind of like
Yeah.
repurpose your energy to like get back somewhere else. If I threw bad in a meet, like I had three throws to figure it out, and if I don't get to finals, that was it. I practiced this whole time for an event, and it was just like I'm done. And that was a big reset, right?
Mm.
Like showing up now and being able to focus on just one thing. Um, and then from a student perspective, it was still hard. I mean, I trained as a hep for 2.5 years so I still was crazy busy. But just realizing that like one, you choose your priorities, and two, you need to find outlets, right? Like your friends can't just be your track team.
Hmm.
You need to have people who can give you perspective on
Yeah.
what it's like to be just a regular student or what it's like to be involved in other things. And that was my lifeline. So for any college athletes, students, whatever, my recommendation is if you're going into a school, especially a 4 year or transferring into a 4 year, don't just be friends with your team. Find friends who are not student athletes,
Hmm.
find friends who are in really interesting clubs, because those become your lifelines when you don't have time to network
Mm.
with every single
Yeah.
group. They become oh, just come meet my friend so and so, his dad does this. And that's been like a saving grace for
Huh.
me.
So what are some of like you kind of talked
Yeah.
about lessons. So what would you do different in your college career? Like as you
Oh,
navigated those years in your undergrad?
I would have networked more.
Okay.
I mean, I hate to say this, and you can edit this out. C's get
Nope.
degrees.
Nope.
C's get degrees.
Yes.
And I think I went into school, into college thinking I have to get all A's. I have
Hmm.
to be this like person. College is a different beast,
Yeah.
right? Yes, perform. Yes, show up. But the real value of college isn't just what you're learning in the classroom. You're gonna forget
Hmm.
70% of that. The real value are the people you meet and the connections you make. Because no matter what you choose to do, that converts into like a lifeline for where you want to go.
Hmm.
Whether it is staying in athletics, whether it's becoming a coach like you did, those networks are invaluable. And I spent a lot of time, the first 2 years especially, being upset about what was going on athletically,
Okay.
right? I spent a lot of time, you know, hiding away trying to get the best grades possible, which I think, yes, study hard. But I think I look at some of my really good friends who have become those lifelines, and the only reason I have some of the networks I do is because it's through them.
Mm.
And I think if I would have spent more time doing that, that would have been helpful. And then just asking for help super early. Like when I was struggling with things, I would wait until the last minute because I thought I needed to do it all by
Hmm.
myself. I now ask for help for like as soon as I realize and I do a few searches and I can't figure it out, I'm asking for help like this.
Hmm.
Because one, it saves time, and two, they can just get you so much more than you can get yourself
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and just share perspective, I think, too, because sometimes we get so close to things that we don't really see the big picture, right? Yeah.
There's no other way to do it. And you're like,
Yeah.
no, there's 15 other
Yeah,
ways to
yeah,
do this.
yeah. So, all right. So, for college now,
Yeah,
going into your professional life, what are you up to now? Because when I look at it, it's like you're doing a million different things.
hilarious.
But like, I know, I remember when you were here, we're
Hmm.
doing our training, we're doing some stuff, and you're about to head off to
Yeah.
Oxford.
No, I didn't go
No,
to Oxford. I went to Loughborough University. I was
Loughborough.
trying to
Okay, yeah, yeah.
avoid going to.
Overseas, you went far.
I went overseas. I was
Okay,
in England.
all right. So, what was that? What was that journey like?
Yeah. Well, first, during how I got there,
Okay.
right? How I even thought about like going abroad. I knew I wanted to do a master's. Did not know where. Was looking at schools here in the
Hmm.
states. During what we call a action meeting, it's like when the people come in and talk to the athletes
Yeah.
about like career opportunities, whatever, because they know not everybody's going to be a professional athlete. Um, a woman came and she discussed the fact that she started a business to help people do their masters abroad, especially if they're athletes, because you can get a scholarship and you
Hmm.
can, even run professionally or do whatever you're doing professionally. And the education is cheaper, but still really amazing. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I looked apples to apples and I wanted a master's in business or marketing. I ended up with the master's in marketing. And my degree from Loughborough, including me being able to live and travel because you couldn't work, was $50,000
Hmm.
all in, everything. Like that was the tuition, that was me having my own apartment, that was me having a stipend to like buy groceries and live and travel to like 15 different countries. Um, John Hopkins, which is where I was considering, was $60,000 tuition alone,
Just tuition.
just tuition. And I was like, save some money. Like,
Yeah.
I got one
And
day
get such
school,
an experience.
and then every time you tell somebody you got your master's or whatever from abroad, they don't even have to know the school. They're already, I
Yeah.
mean, they're already impressed. Which it was impressive. It was a good experience. You learn a lot, but that's the first thing I would. That's the advice I'd probably really give
Hmm.
somebody is like, if you're thinking about a second degree, explore your international options
Yeah.
for sure. You can save some money. You can get a lot of cool stuff done.
Wow.
Um, but professionally, to answer your question, what do I do? So I own a social impact focused marketing agency. It does look like I do a ton of things, but I think about it like building Disneyland. Um, I work primarily with accelerators, so high net worth individuals, professional athletes, celebrities who have foundations that specifically want to give back to small businesses. And I also work with small businesses directly through something called the Amplify project. So, accelerator work, basically, I help tell amazing stories about what the accelerators are doing. I help them get more applicants, get more business, then tell those grantee stories. And then I work with brands to do community activations,
Hmm.
basically saying, like, hey, I'm gonna make up a Falcons popsicles.
Okay.
And we want to show how we're involved with in the city. They'll come to me because I do really good community work, and I can also activate with hundreds of
Hmm.
businesses. And then the Amplify project, just the time I've spent with small business owners, I'm a small business owner. It's really hard to get everything done. You're wearing a million hats and you don't have the money to take off some of them hats. So the Amplify project works with some small businesses. It's an application process, but we do marketing up front for a revenue share on the back end.
Mm.
It's kind of like flipping. It's kind of like flipping venture capital on its head, except for instead of taking equity, they can walk away,
Hmm.
at any time, and we grow and they grow. So that's what I do in a really
Yeah.
pretty, long-winded nutshell.
No, that's that because that takes me a lot of different places because like thinking about like the entrepreneur concept
Yeah.
because now I mean you know this when we're going through college saying you're an entrepreneur was just code for unemployed, right? Like
Yep.
and now
Sometimes it still is.
yeah, but now it actually has like
Teeth.
yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
I'm noticing people are almost coming to college with that notion that I'm going to be an entrepreneur
Yeah.
and it's different. And so um looking at that now, for you, if you were to give, your younger self some advice about how to prepare to be an entrepreneur, besides
Yeah.
networking, what are some of the traits that you took from your college and athletic career that helps you as an entrepreneur today?
Well, I started my agency as a sophomore in college.
Okay, well that's a good start. Yeah,
The first thing I would say is start while you have food paid for and housing
yeah,
paid for,
okay.
because it's a slow burn.
Get why the getting's good.
Get while the getting's good. And honestly, there's something to be said about when you're a student and you have a business and you approach other business people,
Mm,
they are more willing to help even now. They're more willing to talk to you, to do intros, because they see you as like trying to figure it out. So if I was a student who's going into college knowing that I want to start something or have my own business, one, I would literally start talking to business owners and just asking what their day to day is like. Like,
mm,
hey, what do you do? What do you like? What do you not like? Like, how much time do you get to spend with your family? Whatever your priorities are, ask them those questions
yeah,
and they're going to open up. The second thing I would do is like, I would start it
yeah.
because, and I know time is of the essence, all the things. I would start it because you have way more opportunity for it to grow faster while you're still a student athlete
Hmm.
or a student than you do afterwards. People are now looking at you like adult, like a straight up adult, and they're not as giving. I promise you, it's not the same. Um, those would be my two biggest advices. And the other thing is, some of the free business resources are not that helpful, and they have you skip steps. So I would say the very first thing I would do is, if you're going to start a business, go ahead and make sure that you have some type of MVP. I would literally have a business bank account, even if it's a holding company,
Hmm.
dedicated to what you're doing, because you don't want to be like me and have a bunch of tax issues because you followed incorrect advice.
Hmm.
If you start as official as possible, make sure you have flexibility. So that's why I said a holding company, and maybe like, let's say you have 15 different ideas. Do your holding company, and then idea one is this DBA or
Hmm.
this fictitious business name, and idea two is this fictitious name, but they all pour back to your
Yeah,
holding company until you figure it out.
yeah.
That way you're covered legally. That way you don't have any of like the issues of like you're not reporting stuff.
Mm.
And then when you do get a client, because it's happened to me, I got my first client before I was actually ready, and I didn't even know how to accept their payment. And I was like, oh,
You're like,
which is why I said get
yeah.
a holding company and a business account,
Hmm.
because the last thing you want to do is try the idea. It works, and you're like, shoot, I can't even take your money.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, because like now I'm like for me as a coach, community
hmm,
college, a little bit different,
yeah,
landscape. One thing that I'm looking at implementing, still trying to figure it out,
hmm,
is that I'm noticing that there is a lack of networking establishment.
yeah,
And so one thing I started what I call the Falcon alumni
hmm,
kind of group, and we do a Falcon gala, kind of doing like a Hall of
love
Fame
that.
thing, just because I do have so many great alumni that are in different, fields
Yeah,
that could now, pour back into our current student athletes and kind of give guidance. So I'm looking at creating ways of like, establishing internships setting up partnerships to at
Yeah.
least a little bit of time. You know, it doesn't have to be crazy, but I think it is so good to set those things up. And I never thought that I would have to do that or need to do that at this level, but it's so important.
I mean, some of your kids might not go to a 4 year. They
Hmm.
might, whatever they're doing might take off, or they might end up, picked up, recruited, whatever, and they would have missed that, right? So
Yeah.
I love that you're looking at the gap and
Hmm.
identifying it. Um, I think at every level, people should be looking at how do I like build community around
Hmm.
these athletes, because what I'm seeing, and you can tell me better from my like outside looking in, it's getting crazy, and the way that we used to treat professional athletes is being applied to high school
Oh
students
yeah.
now, right? So if that's their experience, they need community younger. And the
Mm.
truth is, I had community in high school. So if I had community and all this NIL stuff was going on, it would have been a completely different experience than if you were alone or don't have that type of like network of parents, etc., who like can wrap around you. So I think, I mean, high schools need to be thinking about the same way, because you have kids who are high school students getting not sevens,
Yeah.
six
Yeah.
figure deals, and you're like, oh, what do I do
Legitimate.
with this?
Yeah. Yeah, that's so important because yeah, it's professionalized like a whole nother way. Like, so you're looking at it. So I know that you guys would have been all over the NIL thing back in the day. You guys would have been,
I'm so
especially in
jealous.
high school.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, that whole
It
Serra group and all you guys would have been,
it was
especially with the people you had. Like you had business minded, like hardworking, no nonsense, like a support system.
we had brands who couldn't get to us because of like various NCAA rules,
Hmm.
who were just sponsoring the school because that
Yeah.
was the only way to
Yeah.
like get us to wear this stuff.
Hmm.
And I'm just thinking now, like if we had NIL, man, you kids are very lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not easy, I know it's crazy, but
Yeah.
like take advantage. And that's the other thing is like treat yourself as a personal brand. I know they said that to us
Yes.
when we were in middle school, high school. We had AIM came around, MySpace, then Facebook, and then Instagram and Twitter became like very
Hmm.
popular during our like teenage years. And I remember even then our parents were like, "Be careful what you put on there. Make
Yeah.
sure, you never know. You want to be able to get a job one day. Not entrepreneur, get a job."
Yeah.
But now the biggest thing is like I work with some folks who do NIL deals for athletes and some brands, and the first thing they're hopping on is looking at your social,
Yeah.
and they have turned down checks or retracted. Like somebody was like about to sign and
Really.
retracted funding because they saw something that was like crazy
Hmm.
looking or it wasn't under control. And I was like, if you really want to take whatever you're doing seriously, well, treat yourself like a company.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I would say. Even if you're a student athlete, I don't care if you're a community college, high school, whatever. Like, go ahead and get, you know, put your name as a business. Put
Hmm.
yourself together, because if you do end up having an outstanding year
Yeah.
and you have brands knocking down your door, the same way you want to be prepared for that.
Hmm.
Those smaller checks if you're a business, you want to be prepared, you know, older, and get somebody to talk to financially
Yeah.
about doing it right, so that you're not being hit over the head by Uncle Sam
Yeah.
is the other thing.
Actually, I know I gotta get a finance. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in because that's what I'm looking at. Like, obviously, creating that
Yeah.
network of resources and those individuals that come and talk about those things at our level. Like, we just need it. It's just missing.
And when you don't have it, you can feel it, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of the mistakes I've run into as an entrepreneur was because I'm like the first really one in my immediate
Mm.
family. Everybody else, I was supposed to go get a job. So I ran head into all these issues that I'm still like, I mean, I've been an escort for 4 years now, and I'm still dealing with stuff from like 6 years ago, simply because I just didn't know better. And I think if I could help kids, or you could help kids, whoever can help kids like skip past some of these hurdles they're
Yeah.
running into, you know,
Yeah.
and sometimes the person who you think is a star athlete may not be the one who gets the big deal, and it's the one who they never expected
Hmm.
who ends up being,
Yep.
it's like the Tom Brady thing.
Yeah, yeah. Be ready.
Be
Just be ready.
ready.
Work hard. Be ready. And yeah, navigate. You brought up something. I would I would hate myself if we didn't bring up
No
how
worries.
amazing your mom is.
Oh, my mom is my favorite person.
Yes, your mom
She
is one of my favorite people.
Beyonce has a line. I know I said Beyonce, but Beyonce has a line. She says, "My mother, my lawyer, my shield," and
Hmm.
that's literally how I feel.
Yeah.
Like she was like my lawyer before I know I needed one, and she's not a lawyer, um, but she's amazing. And I think the thing that was really interesting, she was the reason I started running track. She ran track
Okay.
way back when, but she was the perfect example of how to just be community.
Hmm.
And what I mean by that is like whether you were, I have friends to this day who like I didn't know them, but my mom was sitting in the stands eating fruit and she saw them and they were hot and she was like, "Baby, you want some papaya?" And they had never had papaya before. And that was the introduction.
Hmm.
And now they're like my closest friends because my mother offered fruit to them on a hot day. That lesson taught me like how to just be a good person no matter what and no matter who it is, even if you don't know them.
Hmm.
Um, and just be good, just be
Yeah.
kind. And my mother loves you, by the way. She told me to say
Yeah.
hi.
Yes.
But yeah, she's just one of those amazing people. She used to work for USA Track and Field,
Hmm.
and I just remember how many people enjoyed like talking to her
Yeah.
to the point where she'd be like, "I didn't get any work done today." I'm like, "Stop being so nice."
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was part of those hour-long phone calls. We'd just be talking about whatever. Like,
whatever.
man, like her heart, her authenticity.
Yeah,
Like when you say those things, like I need to double down like exponentially how just I mean pure-hearted she is. Like no matter like she could be going through because then we got to a point she could be going through a hard time
yeah,
and she still wants to give and help.
yeah.
It's like then there are people that I'm like, you shouldn't be nice to them. And she's being nice to them. I'm
Yeah,
like, I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, you have a superpower because, like, that's just who she was
yeah,
or who she is in that sense, or at least when I got to work with her on a more regular basis. Like, those were always good times. She always took care of
yeah.
me, always kind of, shared insight, was just open, honest, and, just full of love. So, yeah, I'm so happy to
Yeah.
have those opportunities to
She
have.
taught me the lesson of you don't have to treat people how they treat you.
Hmm.
Meaning, which most people don't take that the wrong way, meaning like folks can mistreat you, they can whatever. And she was like, you just have to know what animals are in the zoo and just treat them as such, but still be kind. And I struggled because there were times where I was just like, you want me to be nice to this person? And she's looking at me like, yes, be nice to this person. And then later you realize or you hear something about like, hey, I was really going through it. I was mean to so many
Hmm.
people and you were still nice to me. And that made me realize I can like
Hmm.
switch over. And there's even I don't know if you've ever heard. No, I'm gonna stop there. I was like, I'm not gonna start name dropping random
Yeah.
people, but there was an interview from a celebrity who like she was known for being, really just horrible, and she played those roles. And then finally, somebody who was really nice to her was like, "Why are you so mean?" Like tried to get to the root of it, and she was like, "Because I expect other people to be mean to me." And she was like, you're just getting the energy that you're giving out. So
No.
when you break the cycle, you give that person an opportunity to eventually let it click and become a better person.
Wow, that's so
I was
valuable.
like, ooh,
Yeah.
that patience though.
Yeah,
We're
that's the
still working. We're
yeah.
still working. You do a good job though. I've
I'm
seen
trying.
you. I've seen
I'm
you
trying.
navigate some athletes that
Uh,
were struggling, and you
yeah.
you kind of you
Yeah.
figured it out.
Yeah, that's my life. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I definitely learned lessons from your mom. She
Yeah,
was amazing. So I had to throw that in there just because, yeah, she's just been so good to me and
yeah.
so amazing.
And just to give you your flowers, I just have watched you literally from being an athlete, working hard. You have always, as hard as you expect your athletes to work, and I have gone through your training, so I know how hard they work. Um, you also work that hard, if not harder. I remember watching
Mm.
it, and you show up, you're consistent, and you also just give folks a chance. Like I remember coming here between college and needing to figure out where I was gonna train before I went abroad, and you like opened your doors, opened your sessions, and were just super helpful. Um, and you've been like that to so many different people. There's so many people who have those same stories, and I know for a fact that there's a lot of athletes who have been touched by what you're doing, even if they're not still running. So thank you for showing up for us,
Yeah.
and just being consistent. It's hard to find just consistent people. People come and go a
Yeah.
lot, but to find consistent people in coaching is not easy. And I
No, no.
know, and I know it also takes a lot of time from your family. So
Hmm.
you show up for your family, then
Hmm.
you show up for your athletes and people who aren't even your athletes, like flowers all
Yeah,
around.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no
There was
worries.
you posted a quote. I can't say it verbatim, but it was actually at a point where there it was like I'm like, why do I do? I was really thinking like, why? Like because sometimes you don't feel you can be hustling and bustling and doing things for people and you just do it just because it's what you do. And I'm like there was a time where I was like, I could just not do all this because I'm still gonna get paid the same, right? Like I'm not gonna get paid any more. Like it's just like why am I doing all this? And like your quote, like just kind of emphasizing the fact that you don't always have to reciprocate and it's not always gonna come
Yeah,
your way, whatever. And I was like, oh wow. And I had hit you up. I was
yeah,
like, I needed that. I
yeah.
needed that. That was
You
it.
don't
It
always,
helped.
you don't always receive from the people you give to.
There we go. That was it.
And I had to learn that because
Hmm.
that's the other thing, right? Looking at my life now, I'm not completely where I personally want to be. But I was talking to a good friend, and we both kind of were in the trenches together in college. She is working with professional athletes in the NBA as a physical therapist, and I have clients who are celebrities. And I remember thinking like I'm not where I want to be completely, and there's so many people who along the way like I've poured into, I've gotten them things, I've gave them, and they like didn't look back. And then I look on this side, I'm like, but I also have blessings from a whole lot of other people
Hmm.
who I never would have dreamed of. And if I thought that it had to come back from where I gave it, I would kind of be stuck. But the fact that like it went away, I gave
Hmm.
it, it's gone, and then I get the benefit of having amazing people who are not only clients but friends now. I'm like, life isn't that bad.
No.
Like we'll take it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fine,
Yeah. There's so much abundance out there, and again, like for you, like you're saying, like just if you have a pure heart, you're doing it for the right reasons. It might not happen in our time, but it's going to
Mhm.
happen in time. That kind of thing.
And
And
people will misunderstand you.
yeah.
Like I've had so many times where people like thought I was mean or malicious or trying to do things, and I'm like, this is so interesting. Like that's what you took from this very like objective event.
Yeah.
Um, and I realized, like, you know what? It depends on how you show up and what's in your heart,
Hmm.
and that it will take you anywhere. If you try to pivot from that, even like practice and all the things, like looking back at some of the coach interactions that I had and like how things didn't go my way. One of the coaches, I was just like, you just had a pure heart. Like, I get it. You had a job, you had a budget, you had all these things to manage. I get where you were coming from and I get why we ended up where we were. Um, and I can respect that, right? Even though like it wasn't the best experience for me, I know that you weren't being malicious.
Hmm.
And I think that sometimes just knowing that you will be misunderstood and hopefully one day they will understand you, but like stay focused on your intent
Yeah.
and your impact,
Hmm.
hopefully.
Yeah. So you can look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day. That's
If
it's
you can sleep at night, you are
yeah.
winning because a lot of
Yeah.
people can't.
Yeah. They're tossing and turning whether they believe it or not. So you mentioned you're not where you want to
Hmm.
be. So yeah, what where do you see yourself? What's going on? What are some of those next steps? What are some of those
Yeah.
next
Um,
voyages that you're going to be taking?
I want to truly move from being like the operator
Hmm.
of my business to more being like leadership.
Okay.
That's the first thing, is because like have to sacrifice a lot of times. You don't get to spend as much time with your immediate family probably because of work. That's me. Like I'm always on a plane. I'm always moving around. I mean, things look fun, but people don't see like the trenches. The
Mm.
trenches are rough.
Yeah.
I remember I posted a video of me like literally working on my laptop at a baggage claim because something was due. They didn't see that like my flight had been delayed 18 hours and I was sleep deprived. And when I landed, I would have to like get spruced up in the bathroom and go straight to something. Um, and I think that that's cool, it's interesting, and some fun stories. But like at some point, I wanted to scale up,
Mm.
um, and I also just want to be able to make more impact and not depend on other people's dollars as
Mm.
much for that impact. So wealth generation
Yeah. Yeah.
is the truth. Um, and then just fitness wise, I feel like you know, I step away from track after just being injured so much, and I like had this thing with fitness, and I'm like, no, I need to get back to at least being
Hmm.
like able to work out
Okay.
and not feel like it has to be for something.
All right. I'd be remiss if, on behalf of Josie, I didn't try to recruit you to our masters track and field movement.
Well, first
I
tell
just,
Jose
I
I
just,
said hi.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I just got done throwing shot not too long ago, and I walked away
Really?
okay. I threw shot and disc. Yeah, it wasn't
Okay.
too bad. I walked
Let me
away.
figure, what's the timeline? Look. Well, off
It's on
camera, the
you. Yeah,
timeline.
yeah, it's on you.
No,
Yeah, there's
that
always
might be
opportunities.
interesting.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun. No, like, yeah, he's training. He's doing amazing. Yeah,
I
and
love
so
that.
kind of that's one of the things I'm trying to use to kind of get some fire going to get my wheels turning.
There's a lot of us. I mean, I'm cool with a lot of local like track legends
Hmm.
who who wouldn't mind shaking off the dust. So you
Yeah,
let me know.
because there's no expectation. I think we've breached that point to where like ego is dissipated.
Some of
Oh,
them.
wait, me. I can
Okay,
speak for
your
myself.
ego
I can speak
is
for myself
dissipated.
because yeah, there was a point where like, you know, if I wasn't working out at the standard that I thought I should be, it wasn't really working out, and I had to like really dispel that internal thought.
I remember deciding I was gonna like do powerlifting again, and
Okay,
I'm at a gym,
when was
and I'm
that?
like 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I'm at a gym, and I remember somebody walked over to me, and I didn't even have that much on the bar. I'm like doing cleans,
Mhm.
and somebody walked up and like, "Well, you should do it this way." I'm looking at myself like, "Did you just try to tell me how to power clean?" Like,
Yeah.
and now I'm like, "Where did you go to school?" Like, I'm
Yeah,
going
yeah, yeah,
down
yeah,
the.
yeah.
But I was pissed because like here I got these little tins on, and I'm trying to like,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so embarrassing. This is not. This is not an experience. It's not
This is
workout.
yeah. This is not how you like
This used
envision
to be
that.
my warm up. Like, what
Yeah.
is happening? And I'm like,
Yeah.
like
Hmm. Yeah. Oh wow.
horrible.
Yeah. It's even more sad that I'm in a weight room, 3 or 4 days a week, and because for me, what I have to get over, and I am getting over, and I'm doing some different things, but one thing for me was always hard because I'm like, well, if I'm working out, I'm not doing this or doing that or helping them or doing, and and I'm like, that's an excuse.
That's my excuse.
Yeah, I did this thing 75 hard. It
I did
was.
that last
Did
year.
you?
Ended in no right before Thanksgiving.
I'm ridiculous. I'm a ridiculous human, and I planned it. I think it was during the holidays, and
Why would you
um,
do that?
I don't know. I think it was right. No, no, no. It was in. I did it. I started in middle of track season. Started in the middle of track season, so
Why
I'm
would
doing it.
you do that?
And my family, we had a trip to Hawaii. So because there's like
Start
yeah,
over.
no, no. I stayed on. It was hard. It was hard. It was hard.
To be fair, I went to Mexico twice. I was working, but I went twice during 75
Hmm.
hard, and I remember thinking like everybody was like like they brought Dom Perignon, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. Hmm. No, I had the 3 East Coast trips during that
oh,
time. Yeah, it was so like like that was the hardest one, flying and trying to get the 2 workouts in. So
the
yeah.
2 workouts didn't kill me. The hardest part was like the eating. I did a calorie count for my
Okay.
diet, so that was easy. Mine was on Sundays is the only day of the week that I don't do anything. I call it bed day. Like I literally just like
Mm-hmm.
completely no work, no anything. I'm just like sleep
Yeah,
usually. Trying to work out twice on a Sunday was like,
your body didn't
what
know,
is wrong with you? This is your only like moment.
huh?
It did not go well. But and then also just like facing old injuries. That's the other
Yeah.
thing is like I think I stopped. I don't know how many people do this, like athletes. I stopped because I was frustrated with being hurt so
Mm-hmm.
much. You remember how much I would get
Yeah.
hurt. I was frustrated, like pulled hamstrings, blah 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 blah. So I just stopped. Like
Mm-hmm.
I got mad and just stopped. And then I didn't like do anything to like make sure I still recovered all the muscles, all these things. So I have like issues still if I just like jump back into
Mm-hmm.
exercise without like trying to like PT it up. So I'm one of those people who was also frustrated because I went from nothing to like twice a day workouts and I'm getting hurt. I'm like, dang, I didn't even go
Oh.
that hard. Like
Mm-hmm.
we walked on the treadmill and I
Yeah.
got a pulled hamstring again.
You're like, yeah, you
What?
need a PT.
Now I'm pissed. Like I
Hmm.
did too many squats. Now you wanna like my knee wants to blow up. It is not it.
Yeah. No, I had an Achilles surgery, which the left one is like, I don't know. I think they use like a cheetah tendon or something. It's good. It's solid. I'm fast on this leg. This leg right here, this boy, it
He don't do
doesn't.
nothing.
No, it don't have no pop. It doesn't, and it screams at me sometimes. I might try to do something, and it goes, you need to
Chill,
stop. Yeah, it
relax.
lets me know. It sends a very clear signal that I need to just stay in my lane.
That's like my left leg.
Yeah.
It would not take off anymore. It's like a
Oh, really?
dud leg. Like that was the leg I took off for high
Yeah.
jump, and it just like when you try to, it just stops.
Hmm.
Like force end.
Yeah. So on high jump, we didn't bring Coach Les up.
I know.
Yeah, Coach Les is
A
he's
legend.
rocking with us,
Yeah.
every year. He helps with our 400 hurdles and he kind of helps with our combined events. He's funny
He was
because
my coach first. Look.
yeah, I know. No, yeah, Les and I go way back because like
Yeah.
yeah, he when he started coming on and helping us out, it was a lot of fun just because he still has all those war stories and all that. Actually, I got to tell him that you and I linked up. He he's funny because I had to like put it into his demonstrations like maybe like 3 years ago. He'd be like, I think I could do that bar. Like, you need to sit down, okay? No demonstrations for you. He still can't sit at practice.
Of course he can't. He's.
Yeah,
I
yes,
love Les.
exactly like
I
that.
love Les. Les
Yeah,
taught me, for context for people who don't
yeah.
know, he doesn't like Coach Les. One,
Mm,
he always made me call him Les, but Les taught me how to hurdle. He taught me how to high jump. Coach Lawyer also helped with the hurdles. He taught me how to high jump. Taught me how to throw javelin. He taught me how to do long jump. He taught me shot put.
mhm.
Yeah, he taught me everything except for like basic running mechanics.
Yeah.
Um, and I remember the first time I had a high jump session with Les, he had me doing backflips. He put me on the mat and he
Hmm.
was like trying to help me like figure out what the flop feels like. And I dislocated a rib. First day. First day. He was so upset. But that's back when he still would hurdle. Like he was still hurdling. He was
Oh
still going over
man.
the bar. He used to tell me ants jumped higher than I did.
Hmm.
I love Les. One of my favorite people.
Yeah, no, yeah. So, hopefully, get him out on the golf course again pretty soon. Yeah, he's that's what we do during the summer. He
Yeah.
drags me out on the golf course. He wakes up so freaking
Oh,
early though.
yeah.
He's so early. He's like, "All right, we're gonna wake up at 5:30 and go up to you." I'm like, "Dude, you're
And he's
killing
been
me."
up since 4.
Yeah,
Like
he's already done a workout.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
up. He
yeah.
used to try to in high school. He wanted me to golf really bad, and he wanted me to do tennis. So he used to try to convince me. We had 7 a.m. practices, by the way. In middle school, I had 7 a.m. practices with Les before I went to school.
Okay.
He used to try to convince me to meet him at 6 instead, so we can do some tennis real quick. And then I was like, "This is crazy! Like, no." Now looking back, I probably should have took him up and see what happened. Because
Wow, I didn't
track
know
isn't
that.
pay. But yeah, he really wanted me to do tennis lessons, and the idea of waking up at
No, yeah.
4:30 to be able to do tennis at 6 because it's warmed up by 6.
Hmm.
I'm like, nah, no
That
thank
is
you.
hilarious. I didn't know
He's
that.
hilarious.
I have to get on him
Have you
about
ever
that
had
one.
his Japanese curry?
No. Um,
He must not like you as much as you
we went.
think. Just kidding.
I'm trying to think. There was something we went to, and he cooked. We went to we were away for like a camp or
He can
something.
cook. Actually,
Yeah,
he can cook really well. But
I forget what he made. I don't know what he made.
he's known for his Japanese curry.
Hmm.
His late wife taught him.
Oh,
It's
really?
really good. Yep.
Yeah, you see, he started a scholarship here, so
Oh
he has a
really?
scholarship. Yeah, lesson Kimmy
Wow,
scholarship, and
I didn't know that.
so we're able to help out some student athletes after they move on. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
And
Yeah.
his wife was a like business genius.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's really cool. I hope that whoever gets those scholarships gets to,
Yeah,
there's a
we
few strong entrepreneurs come out of there just
hmm
in case.
Yeah, well, we make sure that like they understand the story and like how
Yeah.
they went through their business, and yeah, so it's
Love
yeah,
that.
it's cool. We try to
Living legend.
we try to keep those legends rolling and keep them, making sure we educate the young ones on like where things come from the past. But yeah, with that, as as we wrap up, what is some advice you give to some current student athletes? Just because again, the world of
Yeah.
athletics is changing, as you know. The business world is, I think you can glean a lot of your attributes as a student athlete into the
Yeah.
business world, stuff like that. But what is some, key piece of advice you would give to future student athletes and, business owners?
I think right now, just interfacing with so many young people, because I have been
Hmm.
lately, there's a lot of stress around like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna make money? Like, who am I gonna be? Because that's like what the spotlight is on right now. I think my mom gave me amazing advice. She said, it's not what you want to do, it's what you want to do first. Um, so giving yourself flexibility to dream and dream as big as possible, but also go after it. Don't just say you want to do something, but like start putting in work. Okay, I want to own a business. What does it look like? How can I talk to people
Hmm.
who do that? Or I want to be a professional athlete. How can I talk to some agents to know like what that even looks like, what that entails, what they would like, what advice they would give. That's my first thing, and I would just say like pay attention. Don't just look at like the latest stars and celebrities and what they're doing. Like pay attention to what's happening in the world, um, and try to really stay attuned because I can't give you evergreen advice right now. Like between AI and all
Mm.
this other stuff, I don't know what the world's gonna look like in 5 years. But I think if they pay attention and they be flexible with like who they see themselves as, they have a long way to go, and they can really figure out whatever journey they want, and then take advice of like, not take advice, pay attention to people who are helping. Like if you're Chris's athlete, talk to Chris, and really don't just like brush him off when he's trying to help you, because he probably has contacts to people like me who can maybe make something happen. um that would be my advice.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Um, because I'm thinking now, I'm like, especially with the theme of this podcast is like becoming uncommon, because
Mm,
every journey is
so
different,
different.
and like how we think the journey is going to be, it's
It's always different.
yeah, it's always, it's not what we think it is, and blessings come in so many different ways that we never thought were going to happen.
Yeah.
And like you again are the epitome of, whether it's like overcoming injuries as an athlete, dealing with adversity early in your high school, being on top and having to
Yeah.
navigate different aspects of like your collegiate career, even now, like being a young entrepreneur, and navigating the business world, and kind of rubbing shoulders with some of the big ones. But you're forging a path, and
Yeah.
you didn't have a silver spoon, like, and being able to have those aspirations to not just help community, but just to build up others, is so cool.
There's two things that what you said that I think is important before we wrap up. The first one is like the community piece. I think the it's like such a trite saying, but like the more you give, the more you receive, genuinely. And in the work, what I didn't describe in the work I do, I work with people, sometimes who have a name, sometimes who don't, but we also focus on like how do I make it more popular and profitable to do good. And the reason why is like sometimes you'll have a play, like some of the players I work with, they're not the franchise player, but they've made a name for themselves. They're really good. They might be the sixth man or whatever, but they get so many endorsements based on their reputation for doing good in
Hmm.
community. They get like literally money because if I have this person, even though I can get this big name, if I have this person, it better aligns with doing good in the community. And every brand at some point needs to do good in the community. So I would say just align yourself with being a community person.
Hmm.
Like I don't care if it's track, whatever you're doing, business, always align yourself that way. You'll be better off. I think that was what helped me get to all these like celebrity clients and all this stuff, because that wasn't my plan. My plan was small business, but I had this like social impact theme that kept pushing me into these rooms that
Oh,
I didn't know
wow.
I was going to get into. And I really think that was the difference maker, because there's a million marketing agencies.
Hmm.
But I think if I could tell anybody to just add, like, modify my advice is keep community at your center and figure out how to do it genuinely, but it can still benefit you,
Yeah.
right? You make a lot of money, still have a foundation or give to a foundation. That's a huge tax write off for you, right? And you would have had to spend that money anyway to the
Hmm.
government. So,
Yeah.
like, why not have it benefit your brand and also, benefit your community?
Hmm. No, I love that.
That's probably the biggest thing. And just the other one is like, I haven't met one person, rich, poor, super rich, who started off one way and knew where they're gonna be. Like
Yeah.
I promise
I didn't
you,
mean either. Yeah.
even if let's say they always wanted to be an NBA player and they're in the NBA, the team they thought they were gonna finish their career at changed 4 times in the
Yeah.
last 3 years.
Hmm.
Like, you don't end up where you think you're going to be. Just be ready and be flexible.
Yeah. And it's so, yeah, because if you think back, like even I thought this, like I thought it was going to go a certain way. And that's still a trend today. But I think obviously with like not just social media, but just how, like you can't say, there's no such thing as a shortcut when people watch shortcuts every day be successful. So it's like, you can't really say that anymore, like with as much sincerity. But, when you look at things and my college students and high school people to this day think that it has to go like this. And no matter how much you tell them, it's not.
It will not.
Yes,
It
yeah,
will not.
it will not. Like it is like,
10
yeah,
years ago, did you think you would have this podcast
no, no,
as a coach?
heck no,
That's what I'm
never.
looking. I'm like, I didn't want to assume, but I'm like, I didn't even see you wanting to like be in front of the camera like that
No,
10 years ago. Like,
heck no, still don't. But again, it's important. I think like,
yeah,
in like for me, I say this all the time, but it's like selfish. Like it's a good excuse for me to connect with you. It's a good excuse for me to, reach out to somebody. And
yeah.
it's cool because I might see a young woman, it's like, you remind me of, and I go watch this. And then,
Wow,
and it connects them.
that's a
I've
blessing.
used it as a reference now so many times. Like,
That's a blessing.
I talked to somebody about that. Go watch this because I might say it one way, but you hear it different when
Differently.
it comes from somebody else.
Well, I hope
Yeah.
something good came out of this.
Oh, I know for sure. That,
but
yeah.
that's really cool because to your point, it's a connection piece, but also like the biggest thing that I've realized and why I hate social, for
Hmm.
example, and I feel like we keep moving on, but I hate social personally, but I have like forced myself to like do this whole entrepreneur
Yeah.
bestie image because with who I'm working with directly, who can pay me, is different from who I want to serve sometimes,
Okay.
which means like, how do I can't answer these 300 DMs, but what I can do is I can like post something that answers
Yeah.
that thing that you're dealing with, whether it's like insecurity or like
Hmm.
how do I overcome this or what the heck I keep saving this and not doing it. I was like, I can just do it, and I don't care if a million people see it. If 6 people see it who need it, like
Yeah. Yep.
done. So
That's
you're
cool.
doing this with your
Yes,
podcast. It's
yes.
super cool.
Yeah. So, well, where can the people find you?
You can find me on, I love LinkedIn if you're a professional person and you want to talk about career stuff. I hope you put my name. Do you want me to spell it out?
Yes.
My Instagram is Urina, Urina dot Harrell, Harrell. There's, if you just type that, you don't even have to put the handle. I'm pretty sure it's gonna pop up. I have a very uncommon name, and it's the same thing on LinkedIn. Is Urina Harrell. And yeah, that's probably the best way to reach me. I am very responsive, at least if you email me or hit me up on those platforms. And if that's a struggle, just hit up Chris. He'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll track her down. Okay. Because at one point you were in Africa, if I remember.
That was for 5 weeks.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, I want to go back again for another 5 weeks.
Really?
That's I'm trying to go there between, like, if it's up to me, I will be there the day after Thanksgiving just because I want to. I spent Thanksgiving there last year. Like, it was great, but like I still want to.
It's different.
It's a little different. They don't have it there. Um, Day after Thanksgiving, and then like right before, like the week before Christmas. Like, I would just
Really?
stay and enjoy. It's amazing. You feel like it's amazing to see what it's like when people really don't have a concept of like race or racism.
Hmm.
It's really cool.
Wow.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And the food's good, and the parties are fun.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
like I worked the whole time. Like, I
What?
was still on my
Okay.
laptop, but like you do the same amount of work with, like, I did the same amount of work with probably like 20% stress. Nothing changed besides my environment.
What country did you go to?
I went to South Africa, and then I went to Ghana.
Okay. Oh wow. All
Yeah.
right.
I spent the most of my time in Ghana. I thought that was
Really?
chef's kiss.
Oh man.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
highly recommend. Like, I think if we can get students to even attend or go out there, like, hey, somebody who wants to fund a trip to
Yes.
Africa
Yes. A
for
cultural
Serena's
experience.
team.
Yes.
Yeah, they have some really cool facilities. They have some really cool experiences, and it's just like it really changes how you see the world.
Hmm.
Because when you're here, that's the same thing when I went to the UK. Like, I thought I knew like what people were like, and then I realized like, oh, this is all just American stuff. Like,
Wow.
like this is people are so different. Like, the things you think are normal are just normal human things are just normal American things.
Oh, wow.
And you're like, oh, interesting. We don't have to stress this much.
Wow.
Our food could actually taste good and not make you go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Interesting. All right.
yeah.
So if you try to track her down, you might have to, go overseas. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe. I definitely want to know what you guys thought about the episode. And again, appreciate you so much. You're so
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank
And
you.
with that, be uncommon. Thanks.
I heard if this gets like, I don't know, 10,000 views or something, he's gonna grow his fro back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, yeah. There we go.
All right, thank you
I'm gonna
guys.
edit that out.
Good blooper.
Yeah.